Resuming. Weird. World. Order. Broadcast. Dialer phones connected. Initiating broadcast signal in
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies, gentlemen, and knights of the Nerd World Order, this is the Nerd World Order broadcast. I am the man that you call Dukes, and to my right, it's all about the...
Booyah! What's up? It's your boy Joe, baby.
And to my other right, weighing in at 178 adamantium filled pounds and coming straight out of Krakoa, Alfonso X-Man Flores.
With great power comes great respect.
That's right. And so we are going to be discussing a show that has garnered great respect from a character that has garnered great respect. And that would be your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So let's get into it. Let's see here. I think I'm going to start this off. Now, you might recall a few minutes ago in podcast land, we were just discussing what we thought about the first 3 episodes of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And a few minutes ago, here in podcast land, we said a lot of good stuff. But let me tell you, since then, we've actually watched all the episodes. It's like, due to the power of technology, we're completely caught up and we've seen all the episodes. So, we're going to give you an overall. Now, as always, if you don't want spoiled milk or spilt milk to cry over, if you don't want spoiled milk, take it out of the back of the refrigerator because there will be spoilers in this conversation. But you know what? You know the story of Spider-Man anyway. He got bit by that spider. And then that spider came along and it was like sat on a tuffet. You know how that goes. So there's nothing here you need to know. Alfonso told us all we needed to know because we've heard it all 100 times. Great power, great responsibility, great respect. There's nothing we never seen for Spider-Man before. He gets a suit. He swings around. He fights villains. And that's that. But Alfonso might have a different perspective because now his chat's working. So Alfonso, what'd you think about those other episodes?
Dude, they were great. They were a lot of fun. Everything about it was even the way everything was being released. You know, you had 2 episodes and you had 3 episodes and you had 3 episodes. It was just enough to keep you wanting more, and not too much that it was too overwhelming. You know what I mean? Like sometimes when they drop all them episodes at once, you're like, oh man, I gotta get through them before I get spoiled, and you know, it's just too much. And so this gave you a nice, even, easy pace. You just work through them. It gave you more than just a half hour because sometimes that's just not enough. And the show, I mean, I have very little notes about, you know, anything about it being bad. I loved it. It was a different take. It was new and exciting. And, you know, sometimes I'm a little bit of a stickler for, you know, the original story, and it did not bother me one bit.
I'm going to refrain from saying lazy writing right now. I feel like the writing came together very well. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really enjoy this show that much. Maybe I was just grumpy and needed a Snickers. I don't know. But I couldn't get into it. Like,
Interesting.
I felt like I didn't care about any of the characters. And I guess for me, that's always something really big. If I can't connect with a character, if I don't care about a character, then I cannot enjoy the show. So that's probably my thing. There has to be that connectivity that emotion, that empathy. And I can't empathize with Peter Parker at all, especially that when he's calling his aunt May, like he's out here making rent, like he's got a paycheck or something, out here calling adults by their first name. So yeah, I don't know where I'm going. Joe, talk me down off the ledge.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't like Tombstone,
Nah,
really?
I thought the end, the way that they, teamed up and fought together, I was like, that's pretty okay.
Yeah. You know, that's the guy that was in 8 Mile. The guy that does the voice.
The only guy I know from 8 Mile is Anthony Mackie.
No,
Yeah.
he was the. Remember when Eminem goes to the studio and the girl he thought it was his girlfriend was getting smashed by that other dude? Wink.
Mekhi
His name
Phifer?
his name was Wink.
Okay, so we got Mekhi Phifer, is not him. We've got Eminem, it's not him. We've got Anthony Mackie, it's not him.
It's
Now
Wink. Eminem went to the studio to go and he saw his girlfriend. He was hitting it. Remember in the freestyle at the end, he says, "And Wink did hit my girl."
Oh, okay, yeah, but I
yeah.
don't remember what Wink looked like.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty good, man. I enjoyed it for what it was. I thought it was good.
I guess the things I enjoyed about it, like Tombstone, I guess I didn't like. I felt like Tombstone's rise was kind of like, I guess. See, here's the thing, right? If you look at the beginning of his character, he was a leader, right? He was a leader on the football field.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's been talented in football,
mm-hmm.
he's probably been in a leadership role all of his life. You can clearly see that he has a degree of courage because he was basically willing to give up his own freedom to protect his brother, right? Mm-hmm. So he has all the makings of a leader, but I just felt like the guy who was like kind of the bad guy, the big brother, mm-hmm. He just seemed a little bit too like kind of like cowardly. Like he just seemed like he wasn't. They made him too cliche,
Donovan.
Okay, Donovan McNabb, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
Ray
Big
Donovan.
He's Big E from WWE.
Big E.
Is that really him?
Yeah, it's Big E. He's the voice.
Oh, okay.
From New Day. New Day rocks. Remember New Day?
Dang, his voice is that deep?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I had no idea.
You can just change your voices. I mean, it's just voice acting.
But still, bro. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Hey, man. How's it going, man? Hey, yo, I'm just jive turkey. I mean, anyone can change their voice, bro.
Hey, I'm impressed, bro, because I wouldn't have thought it was him. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay, that's pretty cool. But I just didn't buy that character. And if I can't buy that character, I cannot buy Tombstone's Ascension, Mm-hmm. Like, he was kind of cowardly and just kind of hiding behind his own, like his own image. I thought that was kind of weak.
I don't know, man. Everybody's brave till they get hit.
Everybody's got
I mean, so he's brave until Homeboy came out with some weapons, and he was just like, "Yeah, I'm good, because you don't have no weapons, bro." He's like, "I'm good. I can't fight that." Like everyone's tough until someone breaks out a gun. You're like, "Hey, we good, bro." So of course,
Yeah.
I mean, Homeboy only, Tombstone only got brave when he got them powers, bro. Like he would do some things, but once he got that power, bro, he was like, "Hey, yo, we got the Spider-Man." You know what I'm
saying? That's a good point, bro. Yeah, that's pretty good. And it was the characters. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like
you like Doc Ock?
No. Yeah, I just felt like he was a plot device. He wasn't really. I didn't feel like he was a character. I thought he was there in order to give Norman Osborn and Spider-Man like a reason to come together and a reason for Tombstone to end up with his powers. And I really didn't see him as being like that significant. And I didn't like his character either.
Yeah, I think you're just being a hater. It wasn't that bad. You're making it sound like it's worse than it is, and you need plot devices to move a story. And
Yeah.
like without Doc Ock, I
There's
mean,
no
there's
story.
there's nothing. So you
Yeah.
kind of need him there.
Okay.
I kind of like the way they did Doc Ock. It's like
Yeah.
he wanted to try out some experiments to make things better, and like he threw them out there to the hoods, and they were getting
Mhm.
stronger, and he's like, oh, I like that. And then of course he was trying to put a burr in Green Goblin's side, or I'm sorry, Harry Osborn or Norman Osborn. And then it's like when it came down to it, when his secret base got all taken down, like he had those octopus arms coming out of the wall, and then, it's just a matter of time before he puts two and two together. But I thought it was a pretty nice progression. I liked his persona, because like Doc Ock, they always try to make him like he's not big and bad. He's a nerdy, scientist guy who all of a
Right.
sudden, gets this together. Like Alfred Molina, he's a really good actor. He did a great job, but that wasn't really the Doc Ock that I thought him to be. This guy, the way he was portrayed, I really thought that it was done well in how I read Doc Ock,
Mhm.
Now that's where I have to step back and say, I don't know nothing about Doc Ock. Okay. To me, Alfred Molina is Dr. Octopus.
Mhm.
I don't think I've ever read a comic book or seen a cartoon or a movie or anything like that where I'm like, oh, now I understand Doc Octopus. All I know is my boy got some bad glasses, some Kumo D's, and a bowl
Mhm.
haircut.
Yeah.
How'd you like that part where we're like, oh, I wonder where he's getting his power? And he said, well, what about soul? He goes, come on, the power of the sun in the palm of his hand. Direct quote from the Spider-Man movie. That was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that went right over my head, dude.
You don't remember that?
Oh, I remember it now.
I was
Oh,
high-fiving
okay.
Nate.
Yeah. When I heard that, I was like, oh, okay. I like the little shout out. I like the little shout outs they did, stuff like that.
Yeah.
A little throwback.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, like, okay, Dr. Octopus is going to get his tentacles. Now, I know Joe's already classified me as the hater for this episode.
Mhm.
But who cares? Like, who cares if he gets his octotentacles, right? Octotentacles, right? Like, who cares? I mean, that's how I look at it. Like,
Mhm.
I never even saw Dr. Octopus as being like that formidable of a villain.
Bro, he's
know?
part of the Sinister Six, dude. He's like, from what you never really was in the Spider-Man comics, anyways. I don't remember you getting that many of them. So, like, I can see why me and Alf like, because Doc Ock is a good villain, to Spider-Man. Like, and so was the Scorpion. So, like, it's good to see two of the Sinister Six, right?
Yeah.
And when Green Goblin comes, he'll be the third one.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're going to go that route. But it's cool to see. Doc Ock, like he has those little tentacles, like in the beginning when he was in the warehouse, and now he's thinking, oh, maybe I should attach it, so that's going to happen, down the line.
Yeah.
But I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, like he has beef against Norman, and eventually they're probably gonna have to come together for a comment, like to hate, to get Spider-Man. But I think he's a dope villain for Spider-Man. I think. I mean, Spider-Man 2 was dope, in the movies. When it came out, Doc Ock was actually pretty good in it. So
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
So I was cool with the villain choices that they had in that Scorpion. And then eventually Tombstone. So it's kind of cool to see that dynamic, because the whole thing is like, to your point, he is a leader of a football squad, and then now he's a leader of gangs. Like in him and Peter Parker had a good relationship, and you could see how like things changed where he was really into that girl and he was just like, I'm not into her no more. So it shows you how fast he can change, like his situation, and it's going to be cool to see, like, now that, Bulldozer's not there anymore, what's the point of him staying there? There's no point of him staying there no more. But I think he's caught the bug of like having territory, and for him, that's a winning team. You know what I mean? He can protect his family by, creating a gang that he feels that he can go and protect his family anytime they, no one's ever going to come and mess with his family. So it's kind of cool to see where they're going to go with that. And then, as well as Nico, because she finished and it sees her talking to her mom at the end. So it's going to be pretty cool to see, like her so pissed off that Peter kept a secret. And hate to say it, bro. Relationships are like that too, man. You know what I mean? Your woman will get mad at you for keeping secrets, but then she got secrets of her own, bro. Because you're gonna make my man feel guilty for keeping that a big secret, and yet you've been talking to your mom's, who's
Magically
dead.
delicious.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I'm kind of curious to see how that's gonna go.
Hey, before we get off the villains, I gotta tell you, like Scorpion, he's been a pretty decent villain against Spider-Man. He never really impressed me too much, but this show really showed how much he can do. It's like I don't know. It really surprised me, and it made me care about a villain that I never really cared about. Scorpion was always just one. I'm like, oh great, Scorpion, here we go. You know what I mean? And we even got the Lizard soon to be coming because that I don't know what's her name, Candace Connors or whatever, with the one armed scientist lady. She's gonna be the Lizard. There's a lot of little things in here. Like if you watch out for it, I mean, there's so many little cameos that eventually could be something. Like even at the very end of at the very end of the last episode, they talked about, you heard the overhead PA announcement at a school. Like, we're going to need some new football players. We need a new quarterback. And it's like, Midtown High was destroyed. Well, who's the quarterback? Flash Thompson. So bam, he's in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're going to be, I'm supposing bringing people over from, who he knew from Midtown, or, they can do so much with it. They could bring them, they could leave them, they could have them, be somebody else or somebody different. I really like the character progression of Lonnie, becoming Tombstone, because he was just, he was making the most of what he got, and then, when it came down to it, that's what he wanted to do, protect his family. So he had to make those choices. He had to, and then natural leader, things go down. He's got to pick up the ball and run with it. Somebody had to keep everybody safe, or he'd have lost all of his new friends, which he really, they weren't really his friends, but he felt loyalty to them, and I never really thought of it that way, but yeah, Joe, you're right. He's got to keep his street safe. That's what he wants to do. So that was a good observation, because I wasn't thinking of it that way. I was just like, oh, he's punking out, but no, he wants to keep his street safe. I like that.
So since you mentioned Matt Gorgon or Gargan or whatever he is, Matt Gargan. Okay. At some point I was like, oh, he's supposed to be Latino. What?
It's Gargon.
Like, yeah, apparently. Like, oh, so this is was it a Latino gang, or was it just led by like a Latino guy who
you could make an argument, because they always do the typical black gang against Latino gang.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could always make that argument. That is exactly that.
And since it's New York, they got to be Puerto Rican, not Mexican.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he was Puerto Rican. That's true. Okay. I was just like, I felt like the thing about Scorpion was he was only, just my opinion, I felt like he was only formidable against Spider-Man because Spider-Man was holding back. But then when Spider-Man wasn't holding back, he still couldn't beat him.
Yeah. He just inexperienced. I think like, I like how they did a little quick synopsis of him getting his powers and then move straight forward. But I chalk this up to like kind of like Batman, Matt Reeves' Batman, where like it's year one and he just makes mistakes. He's not that dope. And that just shows like he's still a kid at the end of the day making mistakes.
Yeah.
And he still doesn't have his spider sense or Peter tingle. So is that going to come up later? Because I hope so. I mean, it's a big part of who he is,
Yeah, that's true. That's a really good point. I noticed he didn't have it, but maybe he just won't have it in the series.
I'm sure he'll get it eventually, like with, other things, he'll get better at what he is, what he becomes. But, it's kind of cool because, Nico's going to have her power. So it's like a different Spider-Man, like I used to like one of my favorites, as a kid was Spider-Man with Firestarter and Iceman. I
Yeah.
thought that
Oh
was like
yeah,
a dope show. I enjoyed that show a lot, you know.
yeah,
So like it'd be cool to see if they do something similar to that, and like it's him and Nico, and who knows, dude, this could just be a parallel universe where Tombstone is not evil and he's actually protector of the streets and stuff like that. They could do it that way,
Like Luke
however they
Cage.
want to do it. Yeah, it could be, like just the different stuff. Just like this Doctor Strange was dope because he's wearing the gloves. He had like the old school Doctor Strange look from the comics, and it was kind of like
right.
refreshing to see, like, and even that Doctor Strange was making mistakes. You know what I mean? Like he sees
Yeah,
probably where like at the end when it came full circle, he's like, oh, yeah, I just did that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I
Well,
did
I'm
that.
not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. That's the only part that I liked about that ending was when he was like, "Oh, I'm not supposed to be here," because it was like full circle,
Yeah.
But the whole time travel, I was like, bro, this ain't X-Men. You ain't trying to do no time travel. And I thought Nico got bit by the spider, but I guess not. I mean, there was no reason why I should have thought that, except I thought
Yeah.
Nico was going to be Silk, and that's just me. I was
Well,
completely wrong.
one thing we noticed about this is that spider did not die. Like in most instances,
Mhm.
he gets bit, he smacks the spider dies. The spider did not die. But, lately we've been getting images of Gwen Stacy as Spider Gwen. So clearly that spider is going to crawl off somewhere and bite her.
Hmm.
I haven't seen that.
No, it's pretty good images. It's a different look for her, But, the other thing about that spider, that's a bootstrap paradox.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? They got that spider, to have that powers because they took a sample from Peter, and then that spider came through the portal and bit Peter, gave Spider-Man the powers. Then they got the sample from that spider or from Peter to make
Yeah.
that spider.
When you think about it, it doesn't make sense, bro. Like
Well,
you just
no,
like it should not make sense, bro.
it's a common thing in sci-fi and
Time
and
travel
superhero things.
and
Yeah, it's
fast.
just like what came first, the chicken or the egg,
Yeah.
And I love that kind of thought because it's like, wow, it's like it's not dependent on something. It's just the way it is.
Hmm. Yeah. Which Alan would say lazy writing.
I feel like that's just Alfonso justifying 30 years of X-Men.
It's Alfonso finding a way to say bootstrap paradox. I've been wanting to do that for a while.
Wow. Is that from X-Men? Did they say
No,
that? It's a bootstrap paradox, Professor X.
I think that originated in Star Trek, but it's like the bootstrap paradox is basically sci-fi's way of saying that, something happened because of, that happening, but it only happened because it had happened. And, it's just I don't know why it's called the bootstrap paradox. Something
Yeah.
to do. Yeah, I should look that up because I'm curious now. I've said it way too many times. Bootstrap paradox.
They could have called it the lazy writing paradox,
That would be a good name for for a band, Bootstrap Paradox.
or the "oh, look what we did" paradox, because
Right.
it's like, oh, we're so creative. The thing that happened because it happened, and then it happened.
That was a better explanation than I gave.
Mm. It's
Yeah.
like go back and kill Thanos' baby. No, because things change. You can't do that. You're like, oh,
Right.
okay.
Yeah. Can't do that, but then you can.
Yeah.
Because it happened, and that's how it is.
Right. Exactly.
Mhm.
Well, now this is starting to feel like Marvel's in-game, MCU's in-game, which was just, man, that was a long movie for no reason. As far as like, oh, but we went here back in the past. It's man, y'all could have taken that whole time heist out of it. Just rolled up and met with Thanos.
The end was worth it. Just that the end was so good that you forgot the slow stuff in the whole middle and beginning. You forgot about all that slow stuff. Just because I mean, when I would rewatch Endgame, I fast forward all the way to that part.
Oh yeah.
So perfect.
Yeah.
It really was. Now, the Russo brothers are saying that their next Doomsday is going to be 3 hours also. Come on, man.
Dang.
They better give it an intermission.
The intermission is...
If it's good, though, like, you won't know that it's 3 hours. But the thing is, and it's Russo brothers. I haven't been disappointed, really.
Yeah, you're gonna have 3 different stories going on at the same time, which is
Oh
fine.
yeah, yeah,
You know, and it all come together at the end. A
yeah. Because
culmination.
you've heard about the leaked pictures, right? Like, so,
Oh
like,
my
if they're
gosh.
doing, if they're gonna do the Secret Wars, it you're gonna need 3 hours, bro. If you're gonna try, because I think it's 2 different movies, right? I don't think it's
Better
part one
world.
and part two, right? Or was it Doomsday, and then what was the other one called? I can't remember.
Thought it was Secret Wars.
Oh, was it Secret
of
Wars?
Doom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So like, there's so much that goes on, bro. Like, I don't even know if I can see they're gonna need the 3 hours.
Yeah.
And those still could be just working titles. I mean, look at this. What was this? Spider-Man freshman year.
Yeah.
Dude, they're gonna call it Doomsday, dude.
Oh
They
yeah, for
have,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
they have, yeah.
But like to go back to Spider-Man, because we derailed
Because
off.
that's what we're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, we derailed off. The good thing about this cartoon is we're probably gonna get a season 2 faster than Sony's Spider-Man 3.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that might not even happen anymore,
or
dude.
Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
man.
that might not even happen anymore, bro. Or if they do, they're gonna replace my man. Because I don't think they're.
Yeah.
But you can all, because I don't know, dude. I mean, you don't have to be in the same room to record, but still,
Yeah.
probably just like,
Awkward.
what, dude? I'm not trying to be in any movie with this fool.
Yeah. Yeah, he made it awkward for everybody. So
Hella.
yeah. True. Let's see here. Were there any other villains? Matt Gorgon, um,
Well,
Doctor
you had that
Octopus.
that one redheaded scientist guy who was in charge of Peter and the gang. He was kind of he was a little bit of a douche.
Yeah.
That his name is Brantley or Whitman, and that's the Wizard. So I don't know if you guys remember the Wizard from the comics, but he had like a big helmet, kind of like this, kind of like the leader. But what did he do? I think he had discs that had that like anti-gravitational disc that he used. The Wizard, like big purple hat. Not
Is it the Wizard or the Whizzer?
No, Wizard. Wizard, I think was no, that was Speed Demon, the little fast guy at the beginning, at the first couple episodes. No, Wizard. Like the big three: wizards, aliens, and what robots.
That was a cool idea. Wizards, aliens, and robots. I thought that was something that was super cool that they would talk about, and then they just drop that. You know what I mean? Like that'd be a cool ongoing joke to talk about in the MCU. But
Let's see.
And Amador Cho, is he going to become Braun?
Braun,
So
yes.
so it's like interesting to see if they're going to do anything with that.
That's the Wizard.
Oh, that guy. Okay. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that doesn't make me feel any better about him. Like, oh no, it's like, hey, I got to be B-list. You know what I mean? Like,
and Pearl, Lonnie Lincoln's girlfriend, that her alias is in the Marvel Universe. She's called Wave. You're probably familiar with her from Marvel Snap, but Wave. That's the only way I know her is Marvel Snap. Apparently, she can make waves of water.
What I like about this show is they're introducing all these young characters naturally. That's why I'm a firm believer, instead of making live actions, just make cartoons.
I'm down with that.
Because you can do so much more. It costs cheaper. You can have nice fight scenes, take your time with the story, introduce multiple different characters in the right way, instead of making a live action movie or TV series and you're just wasting time.
Yeah. Hey, did that bulldozer guy die?
no, didn't he just run away?
Okay, so he ran away when Big Donovan ran away? Because he was the one with the puffy jacket and he had little bulldozer.
Yeah, he ran away, bro. He remember I think he got in the car and left from them.
So
Yeah.
bulldozer, is he? You think he's the same bulldozer from the Wrecking Crew? You guys remember the Wrecking Crew? They got a hold of something of Loki's, and they enchanted their like what is it?
Their
A
construction
crowbar.
worker
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, you had the one guy with the ball.
Yeah.
They were all construction workers. They were
Yeah.
like,
So here's my thing, right? Everybody got to have powers. Like everybody,
only in that
like,
school.
everyone except Aunt May. Dude, Bulldozer don't even go to school, right?
I'm
But
okay with if they're actual comic book characters that are in that school. You know what I
no,
mean?
no.
Yeah, because you never heard of Wave and you never
Yeah.
really heard of Nico. So with you,
Yeah.
you're just like, yeah, but they've been around for a while. So it's kind of cool. Like, yeah, I'm okay with that, dude. Like, because they're all in a school and it's like young kids. Like, it's not force fed like these whack young Avengers that they've been trying to do forever.
Yeah, and they all got to start somewhere, right? It's going to
Yeah.
make high school reunions a little tough, but
Yeah.
I guess I just look at the math of it all. Like, oh,
Mhm.
there's 10 people in a room, and 9 of them, because one of them is Aunt May, has
Yeah.
powers.
Yeah,
We're
but
gonna
they're not just don't dude, we don't she's not even Wave yet. You barely find out Nico has
I know.
powers. So it's
I-
like they're gonna develop into them having powers. They didn't just all roll up and say, hey, I have powers. So
You
it's
know,
like you're building towards that, which is storytelling.
I like Shazam, and I like the Shazam
Terrible movie.
family, but first one was
Terrible.
awesome.
Terrible.
But I kind of have a problem with everybody having powers. And I know that's the way the Shazam
Mhm.
family goes. But at some point, it's like not everyone on the show has to have powers. It for me,
Mhm.
it takes away. I feel like there has to be a degree of uniqueness. Like with great power comes great responsibility. But guess what? Everyone has powers. Wow. That part.
I'm
So,
okay if it's done right.
okay.
If it's done right, it's fine. Just like the Justice League anime, the cartoon. It's done very well.
Wasn't that written by Twain McDuffie?
Yes.
Okay.
But that's my point. Like it doesn't have he rest in peace. But if it's done well, it's okay. You're not even gonna notice that.
Joe just checkmated me. He said, Twain McDuffie, what you got now? I was like, nothing,
Yeah,
sir.
I mean, if you get a good writer that knows how to do that, I mean, you don't have to worry about that. The problem is, I mean, James Gunn, there's no different than a Superman movie. Look at the people they're just throwing in your face: Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner, Crypto. You know, and then, I don't know,
it's a pretty
Supergirl's
big
supposed to be in
ensemble.
there. I think
Yeah.
is
Who,
Supergirl
Will
supposed to be in there?
Hot
I thought you said
Girl.
Will Smith. I was like, what?
Hawk Girl was in it.
Yeah.
So
Not
it's like,
Hancock.
you know, so it's like a lot of people that they're introducing in one movie.
Yeah.
But if it's done right, you'll be like, okay, cool.
Right.
Yeah. I guess I'm more accepting of people who already have powers and then come together as
Mhm.
opposed to 5 random people in a room
Yeah.
and 4 of them have powers because one of them's Aunt May, you know. So
Yeah. But
Every
you also
superhero from
like,
this generation comes from that school.
of course, it looks like Nico, she don't have control of her powers. And Wave, I mean, the name says she's Wave, but she hasn't even demonstrated anything going on.
true. I agree.
So the only one that really has powers is Spider-Man and Nico, who you just barely find out she uses magic at the very end. Other than that,
Yeah.
the whole episode, all the episodes, you didn't even know, other than her name.
Yeah, but then you have Tombstone too. I mean,
Yeah, but even then, he's not all white. So
Yeah.
it's like he has strong, but you don't really know what he has. So it's not he's
What?
not there yet.
right.
Which
You gotta get
they're
white
going
to
to do
get
in the next season. The irony.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started, dude.
Well, he does get mean when he gets white, so there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but does he? I mean, we
Becomes
don't know.
evil. He's
You
the
know,
man.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, you know, as far as Peter's friends, you know, you have Norman Osborn, who just has to be in this particular version,
Mhm.
was just the biggest idiot in the world when he was like, Nico's like, I know all Peter's secrets. Now, bruh, okay, Joe knows. My wife could be like, I know everything there is to know about Alan. And Joe would be like, yeah. And he
Yeah.
wouldn't say nothing. So,
Yeah. I mean, it'd be like this.
Yes, you do.
I wouldn't even say, yeah. I'd be like,
Oh, you know about that trip to
Um,
Thailand with
I'll be
the?
like, bathroom over here. I'll be like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Wait, hold on. My mom's calling me. I gotta go.
I'm in the bathroom. Don't wait up for me.
Like your boy just gonna be like, oh, that wouldn't happen.
He was trying to get with her. That's what it was.
Yeah. Well, I think it just there's always that one person that just slips. You know what I mean? That just I know everything. Oh, so you know about this? Like you just don't. I know everything.
And
That's cool.
he's attracted to her because she's the only one that treats him like a person. Everybody else that
Mhm.
knows him treats him like, oh, you can get me some followers. Oh, you got some money. Oh,
Yeah.
So like she treats him like, like whatever, you ain't nothing.
Mhm.
Just a punk kid with a lot of money.
Yeah, you're right. It could be like a bonding thing, like So if we both know, then you can trust me because he
Mhm.
trusts me to know, that I know.
Yeah,
I mean, that could have been it too.
trying to use that as an in.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I just don't know any guy who would do that. That's all.
Yeah.
He does
I
live a
mean,
sheltered life.
yeah, Drake would do that.
Yeah, he would.
And then get a tattoo of Peter on his arm.
Totally would. Totally would. I didn't like the transition from Norman Osborn being kind of like the guy at the computer to it just being what's his Harry. I was
Mhm.
like, but why? Like Norman Osborn is like, he's smart, tactician,
Yeah.
has strategy. And then you just have Harry who's just like, hey man, something's going on over here. It just felt like it became kind of like playtime.
Yeah.
It was unnecessary.
I think it was just a, plot device to get
Okay.
them closer. You know what I mean? To become more friends,
Right.
I'm
Right.
looking out for you.
Yeah, I could see that. That's true. Yeah. So what do you guys think of Harry though?
He, like Cold Domingo, you could tell he's cold and calculating.
Yeah.
You tell he's got something up his sleeve. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
he was already taking samples of Peter blood. He
Mhm.
was already like all those suits that he had made up for Peter. Chances are somebody else is going to get them. Like I said, those all in the comics all belong to a group called the Slingers. So it's like remember he was saying, I want a whole security team full of Spider-Man, right?
Mhm.
So he's doing something. He's not all there. He's not really on Peter's side. He's on his side. Something's going to go wrong. He's definitely going to become the Green Goblin. I mean, he's already got the glider made. He sent it in to save Peter, right? And
Yeah.
something's going to happen. He's going to get dead, and then Norman's going to blame him. Wait, which one? Who's the dad? Norman? Harry?
Norman is the dad. Harry's
Okay,
the son.
yeah. So Harry's going to blame him for Norman's death, and it's
Yeah.
going to be a full circle, right?
Yeah.
I guess it may have just okay. I'm a hater, but anyway, I guess because not exactly I know what's going to happen,
Mm-hmm.
but it's kind of like for me, there's no surprises in this show. Like oh well, we know what's going to happen with Harry. Oh, your nickname is Tombstone. Well, there goes that.
Mhm. Yeah.
I guess I like to be surprised in a show, and
Right.
yeah, this isn't doing it for me.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't know
without comic
Nico had
knowledge.
powers, so that
Yeah.
was
See,
Yeah.
surprise.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Surprise, surprise.
Was
People
it
without
a
comic
hangover?
knowledge.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Surprise.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll watch the next season, so that says something. As much as I'm like, boo hoo,
Yeah.
I'm still gonna watch the next season.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. So, anything else you guys want to talk about this show?
Let me see what I got on my list.
Alfonso has a list.
Well, we've been marking them off little by little. So,
Okay,
so I mean, we did have a couple of superhero cameos. I mean, of course, Doctor Strange. We mentioned that. If
Okay.
you guys remember, we had Iron Man. Iron Man
Yeah.
came in and arrested Doc Ock.
Yeah, that was weak.
You had a picture of Captain America shaking Norman Osborn's hand in the background,
Okay, I
along
don't
with,
remember that.
I believe it was King T'Chaka. It wasn't
Mm.
T'Challa, but let me see. What other? Oh, my favorite cameo of all time. Hey, Spider-Man, do a flip. That guy.
Oh yeah. The guy that was in Shang-Chi too.
Yep. And he looked just like him. They drew him exactly the way he was.
Yeah, for sure. He was in this. You got to remember him, Alan. He was in the Spider-Man movie. Remember Shang-Chi was fighting on a bus? He was the guy that had the phone he was recording.
I'll watch it again.
Wow.
I do want to watch Shang-Chi again, too.
I did. I can't stand Awkwafina's voice. Dude, I started watching Shrek 4, and then I heard that voice. I was like, I can't do it. No, I'm sorry, Kung Fu Panda 4.
Kung Fu Panda 4. That
Yeah.
did take me out that a little bit.
As soon as I heard the voice, I was like, I can't do it. I can't.
How would you describe her voice? It's like
scratchy.
Yeah,
scratchy,
raspy.
New Yorker.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just annoying.
Alfonso, can you do a Awkwafina voice?
Not without sounding racist.
Okay.
No, I'm
Moving
kidding.
on.
I
Moving
can't.
on.
I don't think I can. Would it be sexist?
Hey,
Would it
hey,
be sexist?
Moving
No,
on.
I don't know.
Moving on. Keep
Yeah.
going. Alfonso's the only one of us who hasn't got canceled. So
Yeah.
start now, bro.
Yeah.
Sensitivity training has led me to say no. I cannot do her voice. I'm searching for it though. No, I can't.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't know. It's an annoying voice.
And it's very annoying.
Even if I could do the voice, I wouldn't do it just because I'd be like,
for that reason.
Yeah.
Now I kind of wish that Awkwafina would be on this show.
I'm sure she's a cool, nice person. I just can't that voice, man.
There's that movie she was in with John Cena, Jackpot. Did you guys see that one?
No, because I can't stand her.
Because you can't stand her voice.
That was awful.
That
was awful. It didn't even, I mean, it kind of made sense, but it didn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with the protection agency.
Yeah. Yeah, totally didn't make that much sense. Yeah.
What do you see?
Anything else, Alfonso? What's on your list?
That is everything.
I have a monitor that I normally don't look at.
Oh,
it's a monitor. It's right here. So I moved something, and so I had to look up in the corner to close the thing I looked at. But normally I stay focused right here. But the thing that was up here screws up the bandwidth, so I had to close it.
Oh,
that's that extra light that gives you a better.
No,
that's
your
good side.
No, no. See, now I'm blue. No, I'm not blue. No,
I'm blue.
There we go. See, yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah, I just listed all the names of each titles. There's really nothing special about those. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I did make a note over here about Shazam's butler. Do you remember that? I sent you a link to Shazam's butler. That was really bad.
Mm-mm. Oh yeah.
One of the
I didn't realize that was his butler.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway. Yeah.
That's all I got. What about you, Joe? Any final thoughts?
Yeah, it's an enjoyable show.
Yeah.
I have some final thoughts. You probably haven't heard this in a while, and there's probably only one person still listening. So I'd like to say hi to myself. Now, if you have friends, family, cousins, pets, sometimes your pets get lonely. You know what you can do? You can play this while your dog's sleeping, because that counts as a listener review. That's what you could do. But please, if you're still listening, hi, Alan. Share this with your friends, families, foes, and furry family members.
Roughly.
That concludes this episode of the Nerd World Order broadcast. So until next time, ladies, gentlemen, and knights of the Nerd World Order, I am iamnwo.
We are NWO.
Nerds redefined. Booyah!